Emotional scenario stories. Well, hey, Melvin, you brought us a feeling story today. Hey, great idea, Melvin. He wants me to read this short story on our feeling card, and then we can guess what the feeling might be. Melvin came to school with a new shiny remote control car that he received for his birthday. Melvin showed all of his friends all the tricks his new car could do. One of Melvin's friends, named Tucker, really liked Melvin's new remote control car, and he wished he could have one too. Tucker asked Melvin if he could play with his new car, and Melvin said, "Sure, I like sharing with my friends." What emotions do you think Melvin was feeling? What emotions do you think Tucker is feeling? Hey, great guesses, everyone. So, Melvin is introducing the happy emotion. What are some ways that you've helped your friends feel happy? Emotional scenario stories. Hey, great idea, Melvin. Hey, Melvin wants me to read a short story about emotions. And then he wants us to guess what emotion or feeling the story is about. So I'll read the short story and then you guys can guess what it's about. Melvin just found out that he gets to spend time with his grandma this weekend. Melvin and his grandma do lots of fun things together, like baking and reading stories and going to the park. He could hardly wait for the weekend to arrive. Melvin told his friend Tucker the great news, and Tucker thought about his grandma and grandpa, who lived very far away. Which emotion do you think Melvin is feeling? Which emotion do you think Tucker is feeling? What are some ideas that you have that could help Tucker feel better? Do you have some examples of when you felt sad? Emotional scenario stories. Melvin watched his friend Tucker make a beautiful painting of a rainbow with the sunshine on it for his mom. Melvin wanted to paint the same picture for his mom too. Melvin made a few strokes on his piece of paper and he threw his paintbrush down onto the table. He looked over at Tucker's painting, then he crumpled up and he threw it in the garbage. Which emotions is Tucker feeling? Which emotions is Melvin feeling? Melvin is going to introduce the angry emotion to us today. What are some ideas that you have that could help Melvin to feel better? Do you have some examples of when you have felt angry? Emotional scenario stories. Melvin wants us to guess what feeling that he wants us to learn today. He wants me to read this short story, and then we can guess what feeling it might be. Okay, here's the story. Tucker was building a very high tower with blocks. It was bigger than any tower that he had ever made, and it was even taller than him. Melvin was also building a block tower, but it kept falling down. Melvin wished he could build a tower that was taller than him. Tucker saw that Melvin's tower kept falling down, so he took blocks from his own tower and started helping Melvin with his tower. What emotions do you think Tucker is feeling? What emotions do you think Melvin is feeling? Well, Melvin is introducing the emotion of kindness, the kind emotion. What are some ways that you've been kind to your friends? Emotional scenario stories. Okay, everyone, get your body comfortable for the story. Melvin's brought us another feeling story. Melvin wants us to guess what feeling he wants us to learn today. He wants me to read this short story and then have you guess what feeling it's about. Here's the story. Melvin and Tucker have so much fun with their teacher. She plays games with all the children, reads stories to them, and makes them laugh. One day, their teacher announced they were going to learn a new game. It was a dancing game called Freeze Dance. Melvin liked new games, and he was ready to play. But Tucker sat in his chair and put his head into his shell. What emotions do you think Melvin is feeling? What emotions do you think Tucker is feeling? Well, today Melvin was introducing the scared emotion. What are some ideas that you have that could help Tucker feel better? Do you have some examples of when you felt scared? Emotional scenario stories. Okay, everyone, get your body comfortable for the story. Melvin's brought us another feeling story. Melvin wants us to guess what feeling he wants us to learn today. He wants me to read this short story and then have you guess what feeling it's about. Here's the story. Melvin just started a new school, and he doesn't know anyone in class. Melvin's dad dropped Melvin off at the front door of his classroom and gave Melvin a big hug. Melvin's dad told him to have a fun day at school. Melvin did not want to leave his dad, but Melvin's dad said he had to go to work, and Melvin's mom would pick him up at the end of the day. Melvin walked into the classroom and sat at the puzzle table and watched the other children play. He didn't know anybody. What emotions do you think Melvin is feeling? Melvin's introducing the lonely emotion. What are some ideas that you have that could help Melvin feel better? Do you have examples of when you felt lonely? Emotional scenario stories. Oh, hey, Melvin, you brought us another feeling story, eh? This one's not about you, though. This story is about Tucker. Tucker's in this story. Well, Melvin wants us to guess what feeling he wants us to learn about today. He wants me to read this short story, and then he wants us to guess what feeling it might be about. All right, let's read the story. Tucker asked his mom if she could play outside with him and watch him ride his bike. Tucker's mom said that she needed to feed his new baby sister and then give her a nap. She was too busy right now to go outside with Tucker now, but she could watch him on his bike later. Tucker really wanted his mom to go outside with him now, but he knew she was busy with his new baby sister. Tucker sat on his bike and thought that his mom was always too busy now with his baby sister. He missed having his mom all to himself. Okay, Melvin, I think we should ask the class some questions about that story, don't you? Class, which emotions do you think Tucker is feeling in this story? Hey everybody, Melvin's introducing the jealousy emotion today with this story. What are some ideas that you have that could help Tucker in this story feel better? Do you have an example of when you felt jealous? Emotional scenario stories. Melvin wants us to guess what feeling he wants us to learn today. He wants me to read this short story, and then we can guess which feeling it might be. Okay, Melvin, shall I read the story? Melvin opened his lunchbox and saw that his mom had packed his favorite sandwich for lunch, a peanut butter and banana sandwich. When Melvin opened his sandwich bag, Melvin noticed a folded piece of paper inside. Melvin opened the paper, and there was a picture of a big heart that his mom had made for him. Melvin placed the letter in his pocket and took a big bite of his favorite sandwich. What emotions do you think Melvin is feeling? What are some examples where someone has made you feel loved?